Welcome, everybody, to beautiful Charger Field here at Heritage Hall. Here for another fast-pitch softball game between the Heritage Hall Chargers and the Crooked Oak Lady Roughnecks. With me, as always, is my broadcast partner, Maurice Woods. Maurice, how are we doing today?
Hello, everybody. Doing great.
We've got a special game for you tonight. It's senior night for the Lady Chargers, and there are a few seniors, I understand.
Yeah, on the team this year, I think actually there's just one senior.
Oh, really? All right, then. Then it's a senior night.
They've got the field painted with the number 1 right there behind home plate in her honor tonight.
Well, outstanding. I'm sure she's flattered.
Cheyenne Wiley. Unfortunately, she sustained an injury a couple of weeks ago and has not been able to play any further this season.
Well, that is too bad, but she can just sit here and be honored by everyone tonight on senior, hopefully with a Charger victory, as the wind is blowing, as you can probably tell if you're listening to this broadcast, rather strongly out of the southeast. That should help with the hits to the outfield as I gaze out at the new fence that has just been erected.
Yeah, bringing it in about 40 feet or so ought to certainly help some of those hits deep, and with the wind today, you're right, they might carry out.
Well, and talk a little bit about that project, Maurice. What did that involve?
Well, let me break from that just a second. I think we got the starting lineup graphic coming up here. Today we're going to have Kaylee Scott, number 11, playing catcher and leading off. Number 16, Gabby Bowen, playing third base today. Number 9, Madison Bates, center field. Pitching on the mound will be number 7, Sophie Bondurant. Number 15, Katie Roberts, playing shortstop today. Number 8, Alina Wilson in right field. Number 13, Sydney Tucker at first base. Number 3, Maggie Ephraim at second base. And number 2, Whitney Wood in left field.
There's the Charger starting lineup brought to you, ladies and gentlemen. We don't yet have a starting lineup for the Crooked Oak Lady Roughnecks. Hopefully to have one here. They've played previously once, I believe, this year.
They did.
As I'm seeing here, was a 14-0 Heritage Hall victory earlier in the season. Heritage Hall 5-8 on the season. Building a strong program, Coach.
Yeah, they and Mr. Curran calling me coach here because I coach his daughter
It's
in
habit.
a younger softball league. But yeah, certainly a program building phase, and we've been getting stronger and stronger every year. More and more players and girls coming out. Now we started the middle school program. Started feeding girls up. Should do nothing but make Heritage Hall's fast pitch program stronger and stronger in the years to come. You asked about that fence a little earlier.
I
Jeff.
did.
Traditionally, that fence had been set up for slow pitch softball, which was something that the Chargers were very good at several years ago, and won the varsity level championship. In the recent years, things have kind of transitioned to fast pitch a little more and more, and this year the administration moved the fence in about 40 feet, I believe, to make it a regulation 200 feet to the foul poles, which is fast pitch distance.
Outstanding. And the Chargers taking the field for a warm-up. We see 4 or 5 of them out there getting ready. The Crooked Oak Lady Roughnecks to our right warming up. Stretching. Should be a pretty good ball game. Pretty entertaining with the wind. I wonder how that's going to affect the pitching today, Maurice.
It can be hard on a pitcher, especially with the crosswind that we've got today. It's a little bit cross, not purely coming out of the southeast. It'll have a little bit of effect blowing from that pitcher's right to left. Sophie typically tries to throw a little bit of an outside pitch anyway, and might actually just provide her a little movement to the outside corner of the plate wherever she wants to be.
Now, Sophie, as I understand it, has already thrown 3 no-hitters this year.
Yeah, that's impressive. Anytime a pitcher can get a no-hitter, that's quite an accomplishment.
Throwing hard, developing a changeup to complement that fastball, which is can be a killer pitch for a young pitcher to develop. A nice changeup.
Yeah, you know, it's such a short distance pitching from 43 feet. The reaction time that these batters have on a fast pitch softball traveling 50, 55 miles an hour is just fractions of a second. And if they're used to looking at that fast pitch ball coming in 50 miles an hour plus, and all of a sudden that pitcher is able to throw a changeup down in the 30s, boy, it can really mess with the timing of some of these batters. It's critical to have that off-speed pitch.
You know, I saw an interesting graphic during the Women's College World Series this last year that when the pitcher, by the time the pitcher releases the ball and she's pitching it, 60 miles an hour, whatever it is, they actually have less time to react to that than they do from a 95 mile an hour fastball thrown from the pitcher's mound on a baseball field.
Yeah, that's true. I've actually seen them try to have professional baseball players come out and hit softballs pitched by some of those collegiate athletes, and professional guys have a hard time doing it just because the reaction time is so short.
And then, of course, the pitchers get the step off the rubber there, so by the time they release it, you know, with some of those college girls, you're talking maybe 38 feet.
Yeah,
that's coming at you in a hurry.
Yeah, those pitchers are taught to explode off the mound. Here we are with the feature player of the game today, our pitcher we've been talking about, Sophie Bondurant. Sophie is a junior this year, of course. She has thrown the 3 no-hitters that you mentioned. As impressive is her 55 strikeouts in 43 innings on the mound. Previously, when we played Crooked Oak on August the 24th, she recorded 6 strikeouts, one of her no-hitters, and only gave up 2 walks. Sophie throws nice speeds, been coming up the last couple of years. If I had to guess, I'm saying she's probably in the mid 50 mile per hour range.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah, and she does have that nice changeup that we were discussing earlier to throw those batters' timing off.
Well, and not only that, but she's batting .458. That's not bad.
Not bad for a pitcher. You know, the interesting thing about fast pitch softball, it's not like baseball where your pitchers often bat in the 100s or 200s.
Or not at all in the American League.
Sure. That's true, too. A lot of times those girls spend so much time on the softball field, so much time in extra lessons that their hitting is always seems to be pretty impressive as well.
Well, and if you follow the fast pitch softball on the collegiate level, you know, the dominant players really on both sides, pitching and hitting. You get your Kaylani Ricketts, who was obviously the best pitcher, their best hitter. You know, Florida's pitcher, Lauren, whose last name escapes me at the moment, was the same way.
Yeah.
Devastating pitcher, and just you couldn't hardly get her out at the plate. There's the Chargers taking the field, the full team for the full warm-up here on senior night. And it is a beautiful day, a little bit windy. It seems to have calmed down a little bit, at least the last couple minutes.
Here's our First Liberty victory plan for the day. First off, the Chargers need to limit the free bases that they've been giving up from time to time this season on walks or errors by the defense. If they can do that, I think they'll have a game firmly in control. If they can continue to eliminate those errors and improve their fielding, had a shutout last time out against Crossings last week, and ought to continue pretty limited offensive production by the Crooked Oak team today. Being selective at the plate, something Coach Dobbs has mentioned. Boy, it's frustrating for coaches when girls know what a strike looks like, know what that strike zone looks like, and they just get so anxious. They want to produce a hit, they want to produce a big hit, and they swing at stuff that is outside the zone. You know,
over their head.
Yeah, they go up after something, outside at something, and those are hard to get the bat on the ball squarely and hard to produce a hit. You end up producing something that's easy for the defense to field. So if they can be selective, be smart at the plate today, they ought to have a nice offensive production.
That's the First Liberty victory plan. Bank on it at First Liberty. Getting them ready. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon for softball. If you're within hearing distance of our voices, just come out and see it and support the program. We even got a concession stand, folks. You won't go hungry. If you're hearing the wind noise, I promise we're turning all sorts of different directions to try to prevent that, so bear with us just a little bit.
I think we're going to take a commercial break at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, back in a minute.
When you walk into Fuzzy's Taco Shop, you'll know you're in the right place. With the best Baja-style menu in town, we'll have the whole family addicted. Order up. Nachos, tacos, burritos, it doesn't matter. It's like an explosion of flavor in your mouth. We know you've had a long day, and you deserve a break. So, bring the crew to one of the Fuzzy's Taco Shop locations in Norman, Oklahoma City, or Stillwater. Welcome to your new addiction. Eat me.
I'd go with the expected. Green shirt.
All right, we're back here at beautiful Charger Stadium. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, which I believe we have in front of you there, Maurice. We talked a little bit earlier about it.
We do. We've got an expected batting order on the Crooked Oak Lady Roughnecks. Leading off, we're looking at number 34, Nanez, followed by number 14, Pulido, followed by number 10, Smith, 22, Lopez, followed by 00, Primeout, 35, Webb, 32, Rodriguez in the 7 hole, 01, Gonzalez hitting 8, and number 13, Mendoza batting in the 9 position.
All right. Still warming up, although I think everybody's getting ready to come in and start this game. Pitchers are bringing the ball down anyway. We went over the Heritage Hall lineup a little bit earlier, and of course stopped with our featured player, featured player, Sophie Bondurant, who's out there warming up as we speak, slapping 5 with Coach Teehee.
Kaylee Scott taking some reps at catcher.
There you go.
Kaylee's done a nice job this year stepping up at the catching position. Not her not her usual position over the last several years. Not necessarily her forte. She's a heck of an infielder, but she's so quick behind that plate and has good command of the infield back there.
Boy, that's important.
All-around good softball player, understands what needs to go on the infield.
Kind of a field general of sorts for the softball.
Very much.
We've got our coaches coming up. Coach Dobbs. How long has Coach Dobbs been on the job, Maurice?
Coach Dobbs has been here, I believe, 5 years. And in the head coaching position, I believe this is his 2nd year. Coach Kristen Jantz is his assistant. Also his daughter, Kristen, played collegiate ball and did have head coaching position, and they did a role reversal. And Kristen still provides a lot of softball knowledge on this field.
Well, and certainly a voice of experience to the girls on the team.
It's a picture of Coach Eldon Anderson, the coach of the Crooked Oak Lady Roughnecks. Going over the rules there and discussion with the umpires pregame.
Making sure they're keeping it fair. And there's the handshake. Looks like we're going to play some ball here in a second. And once again, this is senior night, and we mean that in the singular again tonight for our Heritage Hall Lady Chargers. As I throw my papers all over the place. Actually not throwing them, the wind's taking them, in fairness. Wind's taking them and blowing them all over the place.
You know, with only one senior this year, the team's going to be pretty hard loaded coming back next year with some experience and some key positions. There's a lot of juniors coming up, a few sophomores. Next year ought to be a nice year. I know there's some good players coming up out of the 8th grade. Will be joining them as freshmen next year. Got some good softball talent. Next year will be an interesting year to watch.
And you mentioned that they've recently started the middle school fast pitch program, which should help as well.
Absolutely.
Chargers are on the field, taking their warm-ups, throwing the ball around. Sophie Bondurant on the hill, although in softball it's not really a hill. Can we still call it a hill?
Not much of a mound. pretty flat out there. On the pitching rubber anyway.
All right, we'll call it the flat. No.
We often refer to that as being in the circle.
In the circle. Sophie Bondurant in the circle. It just didn't seem right calling it, saying on the hill.
A lot of people wonder what that circle is for. That's around the pitcher's mound in fast pitch softball. It's actually associated with kind of a key rule. Once the ball is returned inside the pitching circle, the play is to basically cease. That's kind of an effective way to put all runners and everything at rest. The rule on runners is that once the ball is returned to the pitcher and it's inside that circle, if there's runners off base, they have to commit to one base or the other. In other words, if they're stealing, they have to advance and continue to advance until an attempt is made to get them out. If an attempt is made to get them out, then they can, of course, try to return to the base they just came from or get into what we otherwise know as a pickle. But the entire idea of that pitching circle is to make the runners commit to a base, one or the other, once that ball is returned to the pitcher.
Well, for example, if the runner is closer to the base that they just came off, but they're making an effort toward the next base, once the ball's in the circle, do they have to keep committing to that next base?
Once the ball hits the circle and is firmly inside there, they have to commit one way or the other.
Okay, so they could go back to the base they came from.
Yeah, you'll often see runners pop off the bag and freeze 4 or 5 steps off the bag to see what happens with the pitch. Is it a pass ball? Is it a wild pitch? Is it put into play? Whatever. But if it's, let's say it's a good controlled strike caught by the catcher, and it's returned to the pitcher at the point that the ball is back in the pitcher's glove, that runner, even though she's 4 or 5 steps off the bag, has to commit one way or the other.
Right. All right, we're going to start some ball here. Crooked Oak sends Nanez to the plate. We're going to play some ball here at beautiful Charger Field. It is not Nanez. It is
number 21.
Number 21.
We don't have a roster card.
We'll get a name with that. Number 21 is a leadoff hitter for the Lady Roughnecks. There's a strike to open senior night for Sophie Bondurant. Nice pitch. Like the outside part of the plate. A little bit low with the second pitch. Kaylee Scott back to Sophie. 1-1's the count. And a foul back. Hits the backstop, 1-2. Now the count to the Lady Roughnecks' first batter. Pretty good start for Sophie.
Yeah, there's that pitch we were talking about, her hitting the outside corner of the plate. It was hard for the batter to get out there and reach it.
And there's a nice strike, but 21 gets a piece of it. Tips it back. We'll stay at 1-2. Game just underway. Of course, nobody on. There's a pitch a little bit high. She thought about going for it, but held back.
There's that changeup.
Right.
She was trying to go with the off speed. A couple of foul balls in a row, trying to mess up the timing of that batter. Just missed.
There's a swing and a miss, and the Lady Chargers get their first out.
Came right back to the changeup again.
That's right.
Off speed got her.
That'll do it. Now Lopez up, the Lady Roughnecks' second batter. Steps into the box, gets the bat back. There's the pitch, swing and a miss. Another strike. So if he's off to an outstanding start, okay. Number 22 was batting right-handed. Now she's batting left-handed. Don't see that a lot. She slaps it out to short. There comes the throw, and it's too late. She's safe at first. Interesting little play. You don't see that a lot at the high school level. You see it some.
Well, a little bit. As the girls get older, they often try to work on that slap from the left side. It gives them an extra step or two coming out of that box if they can start that momentum and lay down that slap towards the third base line or shortstop position and then carry their momentum to first base. It's an effective little tool.
All right, the first pitch to the third batter is a little bit high. We've got one down. Lopez on first. And a 1-0 count. There's a strike. It's a nice pitch. 1-1 now. There it is. There's another strike just on the outside corner. Really nice pitch. A little high and outside. We're going to take it to 2-2.
Runner on first, making the decision not to challenge the arm of Kaylee Scott behind the plate.
Hard foul down the first base line. I think that was a wise decision. She looks like she's got a nice arm. Smith settles back in for Crooked Oak.
Batter's starting to catch up with the speed a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see the changeup right here.
Oh. Got a little bit of an inside pitch. And Lopez takes second. So we've got a full count now to Smith for Crooked Oak. Wind picked up there. I wonder if that played a part in that pitch. And high and a little bit outside. She walks her to first. Not a big loss as first was open, but you never like to walk a batter if you can help it. Here comes Nanez to the plate for Crooked Oak. She's batting left-handed.
It's like probably another slapper.
Yep. Chops at the ball but misses. Counts 0-1. And apparently this is the thing with Crooked Oak. Switching sides of the plate. She's going to bat right-handed now. Different side of the plate, same result. Strike two. Counts 0-2, way up in the front part of the box. And takes a bunt, strike three. There you go. And like that, there's two outs. Two runners, first and second. Sophie settles in, tries to catch the outside, but doesn't. A little bit too far outside. Counts 1-0. There's the pitch and a swing and a miss. Nice hard pitch up in the zone.
A little bit of a rise on that pitch. That's hard to hit
Saw
when that
that.
ball starts out low and comes up in the zone.
See that a lot in the college ranks. Takes a special kind of pitcher to pitch that at the high school level. And there's a high pitch, but it's a bunt. So it's a strike, folks. 1-2. Try to pick off at first. Didn't quite get it, it looks like. Crooked Oak's got time. Maybe a little bit of trouble with the runner coming back into first. I think maybe an ankle problem or something.
Looks like she stepped into the bag awkwardly and maybe turned her ankle as she reached for it.
Well, we hope she's okay, of course.
Just almost got picked off over there on first. Nice ball thrown to Sydney Tucker, and she handled it. Just couldn't quite find her on the tag. I think maybe because she was falling down.
All right. Back to the pitch, 1-2. Bondurant settles in. She's on the rubber. Oh, just misses. Steal for third. Got her out. Kaylee Scott with the nice throw to third. And that's it for the Crooked Oak Lady Roughnecks, top of the first.
I'll tell you what was impressive was the fielding by Gabby Bowen there on third base. That was a one-hop throw that she caught and laid on that runner like she knew exactly what she was doing. That was a nice play.
It was nice.
We want to thank our official sponsor this half inning, First Liberty Bank, where your success is their passion. Let First Liberty help you achieve your goals by calling 405-608-4500 or visiting myfirstliberty.com. Charger Vision would also like to thank sponsor Mercedes-Benz of OKC for their support of our program. Visit their showroom downtown or check them out on the web at mbokc.com.
And I'll bet if you wanted to thank Mercedes personally, you could go to First Liberty and get the loan that would allow you to buy the Mercedes-Benz and take care of two wonderful sponsors, which we very much appreciate. Chargers getting ready to take the plate against the Lady Roughnecks. And my papers are blowing all over the place up here.
Hard to control today.
I was going to say, in my defense, the wind is blowing about 70 miles an hour, it seems like. I'm surprised there's not a weatherman screaming for me to get to shelter.
I'm just glad we're on the upwind side of the, the dirt blowing around in the infield.
That might be a bit of a problem. All right. Lady Chargers looking to take the plate. Coming up first is going to be the catcher we just talked about, Kaylee Scott. Kaylee's got she's got some problems at the plate, Maurice. She's only batting .607.
Yeah, that's pretty much a ridiculous batting average. That's impressive. Anytime you can bat over 600, and she's got power.
I think you could take every season of Little League ball I ever played, combine the averages, simply add them, and I don't think it would have been .607.
Well, look at the power. She's hit 3 home runs, 2 triples, 3 doubles, 15 RBIs. She accounts for 14 runs on the season.
She's doing exceptionally well. Coach Dobbs trots over to first. And here comes Kaylee stepping in for the first pitch of the Charger half of the inning. A little bit high, a little bit outside. Ball 1. And the ball finds its way across the plate. Kaylee takes it. Strike 1. Oh, no. Am I wrong? I guess that was a ball.
I thought I heard him call strike as well, but it certainly fell and just almost clipped the back corner of the plate. I heard it wrong like you, but I think it was a ball.
There's another ball High and outside, escapes the catcher's glove. Going with a 3-0 count. Still convinced that last one was a strike, though. If the ump calls it, the ump calls it. And that's what matters. One bounces to the plate. And I believe that's should be the fourth ball. Oh, no, there we go. See? We were right. It is 3-1.
We did hear it correctly.
I don't have to get my ears checked just yet. There's the fourth ball. Kaylee takes off to first. Gabby Bowen coming up, that fabulous fielding third baseman we just talked about.
Gabby's got a nice batting average on the season, hitting .375 with a home run and 5 RBIs.
Gabby takes a strike. Looks down to the third base coach for a signal. Steps back in and she's ready. Ball's a little bit high. Kaylee's going to steal second and make it in. Stolen base for Kaylee. Counts 1-1. Gabby steps back in. Pops it up between the pitcher. Oh, shortstop comes over and grabs it. Nice grab. One out. Kaylee still at second, though. Madison Bates coming up. Boy, these girls and their batting averages, Maurice.
Well, one thing about Madison, she's been hitting well this season. Also hitting .409. Also some good power. A triple, a couple of doubles, and 8 RBIs.
Ball's high a little bit outside. Kaylee kind of steps down the line a little bit and forces the catcher's hand. She gets it back to the circle. Kaylee safely back to second. Madison steps back in. Here comes the pitch. Oh, hit hard but just fouled down the third base line.
If you'll notice, Gabby didn't quite get all of the ball that she hit and popped it up. Now Madison's way out in front of it, pulling it foul down the third base line. The pitcher for Cricket Oak doesn't throw with a whole lot of speed, and oftentimes when our batters are used to seeing pitchers with a lot more speed, it's tough for them to wait on it.
All right. Out to oh, okay. Madison hits it out to left. Little trouble with the field. Kaylee comes around to score. 1-0 Chargers here on senior night.
Another RBI double.
Can never have enough of those.
No, that's good.
I'll take those all day long. All right, Sophie to the plate. Sophie goes after a high one, grounds it to short, gets through. Madison takes third on what kind of looks like a little bit of defensive indifference.
Yeah, it was a nice hit to the gap there, and it looked like there was a little confusion on the defense who was going to pick up the fielding on that ball.
You know, that can happen at any level. Seen it happen at the pros. All right, we've got a pinch runner now for Sophie. Sophie's coming off. We got a pinch runner. We'll get your name in just a second. Nice. Wow, nice hit there by Katie. Out to center. Scoring another run. Madison comes in for the second run of the inning. Madison Bates.
I can't quite decipher who that is on second base. Came in to courtesy run for Sophie. It might be one of the Wood players.
Oh, here's another one to center. Oh, it was a catch and then not a catch. Got another run coming in. Nice hit, and I think maybe that wind might have messed with her just a little bit on that catch. Had it just for a second. Didn't. End result is the third run for the Chargers. And Maggie Ephraim coming to the plate. First left-handed batter we've seen tonight.
Maggie's one of our slap hitters.
Ball's a little bit high. Maggie takes a ball. I should say first left-handed hitter I've seen for the Chargers tonight.
Yeah.
Got runners at first and second. 1 out, Chargers up 3-0. Maggie thinks about slapping up. Got a steal of second and third. Maggie took a ball there, a little bit low, might have inhibited the catcher's ability to get it and throw it to third as quickly as she might have liked. End result, runners at second and third. Nice stop by the catcher. Ball 3.
That last play was heads-up base running by Alina Wilson. She saw that throw going down to third base, and she knew she had a clear path with her speed and stealing second. Good heads-up base running.
All right, Maggie takes a 4-pitch walk. Now the bases are loaded for the Lady Chargers. Sydney Tucker coming up.
Sydney's got a triple on the season, batting .278. See if she can't hit one of those triples right here and clear the bases.
First pitch, a little bit low. Catcher walks the runner back to third. Base is full, 1 out here, bottom of the first. Oh, swing and a miss. Oh, and she steals home, makes it. Pitch got away from the runner. Katie Roberts alertly stole home. 4th run for the Chargers, leaving first base open. Hump's going to take a dusting break. Although with this wind, that's going to be a heck of an effort today.
Might just leave the base alone for a minute and let the plate blow off by itself.
Let the wind take care of it. All right, Sydney settles back in, 1-1. 1 out here, bottom of the first. A little bit low. Bounced it in. 2-1 now. To Sydney. Sydney's a sophomore. 278 on the season. Another pitch coming in.
Came in low. Another ball.
Should be a 3-1 count, if I'm counting correctly. Oh, reaches for a high and outside. Oh. Sydney reached for one, got a nice piece of it. Unfortunately, the shortstop caught it.
I bet the coaches are going to talk to these ladies between innings about being patient, waiting for the pitch they like that's in the zone instead of kind of doing what I was talking about pregame and
one of the keys,
not trying to make something happen that's not there.
Take what they give you. And it's hard to be patient at the plate sometimes. You see everybody else scoring, you want to do it too. 1-0 count. There's a pitch a little bit low and outside. Whitney Wood takes a 2-0 count. 2 outs, bottom of the first. Runner second and third. High ball. 3-0 count now to Whitney. Sophomore outfielder batting .222, got 5 runs on the season. And there's ball 4. Whitney takes the open first base and fills it. Base is full now. Back to the top of the order and Kaylee Scott.
Fun situation for a batter who's got a lot of power. If she can stay patient right here, she might just produce a big hit.
High ball. Oh, you can't steal second. Somebody there. Well, catcher threw it to second anyway. Alina Wilson came in to score, make it 5-0.
A bit of a fielding error on the catcher. She had an easy out at first base with a running error by a Charger, but failed to recognize it and try to throw out 2 runners basically that were both at second base.
Saw the runner at first, and her instinct was to Throw it to second. Hit sharp to second. Everybody's safe. There's another run coming in. Maggie Ephraim comes in and scores. Gabby Bowen back up here in the bottom of the first. 2 out runners in first and second. Gabby settles in. Ball hits the plate, runners advance. I gotta believe with the ball that's pitched without the speed that you usually see, the wind's got to affect that some. It looks like it is.
Oh, I imagine it is. This pitcher's probably throwing down in the 30-mile-per-hour range, mid-30s probably, and that definitely will get affected by the wind.
Gabby takes another ball, 2-0 now. Settles back in. A little bit outside. Here comes the runner from third, and she scores standing up. Whitney Wood for the 7th and final run of the inning. After 1, Lady Chargers 7, Lady Roughnecks nothing. Lady Roughnecks coming up, top of the second.
We'll take a commercial break and be back in just a minute. Back to action.
It's been a long time coming, but it's finally here. Right now. A new dawn for Oklahoma City professional sports. A new tradition on a proud sports landscape. Professional soccer has arrived. Are you ready?
And we're back to action after commercial break here. Chargers taking some warm up. Sophie Bondry getting loose on the mound again.
You, Maurice, when you bat around like that, you have a great inning. What's the psychology of the team? What do you need to do as a coach to keep your team focused?
Well, as a coach, you want to talk to your players about making sure they keep playing up to the level they're accustomed to playing to. There was a lot of fielding errors on Crooked Oats' behalf, and you cannot learn to count on those in game time situation. Other teams will not make those. So you have to keep playing your game of softball and make sure that you stay prepared and play at that higher level. Don't